Welcome to the Broski Diddles podcast, the best podcast in all of the land. It's your boy Kiko Flow, Kiko Cervantes, and like every week we bring you the hot sauce, the good spices, the little hope in the week so that you can feel, that things matter. Chef Maurice, thank you for joining us like every goddamn week. What do you do?
How are you, bro?
Feeling great, man. Feeling great.
How you is?
I'm feeling great. However, I do have a topic that I wanted to talk about that might bring some people down. I started thinking the other day, I think I am a person that doesn't like to travel. And I know that sounds controversial. I know it might put some people, in the wrong foot, like, yo, what are you? But I have come to terms with me that I think travel is overrated and it's kind of it's kind of mid.
I'm against that thought. I mean, I'm against the thought of the travel. I'm with the thought of the hassle. Like, I don't want to do the hassle part.
Right. No, but we're not talking about the ins and outs and the details. What we're talking about is overall, if you like travel, it's because you assume the annoyance that comes with it and you still enjoy it and like it, right? Now,
I guess.
Okay, so now you're contradicting yourself. You see, you're already your argument's already falling. People look at you. They're saying you're weak.
Damn, dog. Damn.
So stay strong with your beliefs. I'm the one that believes it sucks. And I'll explain, all the reasons why, but you can imagine some of them. And there's a couple reasons, but I just feel that it's overrated. People make it look like it's like the most amazing thing to do. And I just don't think it is. And as you start having kids, it becomes even more of a hassle. So let's get to the actual details, the factors. The first one is the hassle, right? You're dealing with a lot of people, maybe in a terminal, in an airport, a bus station. Sometimes you gotta go there, and you're having to deal with dealing with a lot of people, being outside of your comfort zone. Maybe the restaurants, you're not sure which ones are good. You kind of have to do research, and now you're in a place where they want to take your money, right? And again, I do want to, as a caveat, say that this all changes if you have a lot of money. Like, if you have a lot of money, this whole conversation is completely useless, right? Because, like, if I had mad money, then I can make travel comfortable, enjoyable throughout the whole process. So this changes if you're a high millionaire. So obviously this conversation is just for people, middle class, and poor people, of course. The poor are the worst. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just think there's too much hassle involved. I think another important factor, cities that are touristic have become too touristic because the world has globalized and now anyone can grab a plane and go anywhere. So all these cute places people love, Italy, Venice, this, whatever the fuck, Paris, is all just filled with people, tourists, and the cities aren't even really a true depiction of that culture because everything becomes a tourist business. So, for example, I live in Madrid. The center of Madrid still has a lot of culture, still has a lot of things from its roots, but a lot of places are disappearing, and what comes instead is a souvenir shop, is some, whatever franchise of quick food for the tourist, and you start losing shit, right? And I feel like that's how it is in many places. I bet I don't know, you might be able to tell me differently because I don't know if you went to Italy last time you came.
No, I just stay in Spain.
Portugal, which is pretty much Spain. For all my Portuguese friends.
With a different accent.
Yeah, they're just a little darker Spanish people. That's cool. So, I don't know. For you, do you still find like that at the end of the day, there's still added value and benefits to traveling, so you end up going through the little hassles, but you end up enjoying it a lot, and sort of like a thing that you want to go back to and do it and do again.
Yeah, I think it's also the situation I'm in. I want to make all these memories with my son. He's still young. He's 3, so I doubt he'll remember them, but I'll remember those. And those will be the moments that also fill my heart with more love. But maybe he'll look back at all the pictures we took and say, okay, we did this.
Yeah.
Most of the things I did in Spain, it was for me. Like when the last time, it was for me, like to make that memory with my family and with my son, my wife, and whatever. But yeah, that's basically.
Oh, that's interesting. So and maybe I'll change my mind when I have a kid, but that's actually a perspective I wasn't even thinking about, which is your kid might not remember, although he might, and those might be little treasures in his head. But also, it's like you're making this memory of having been with your kid as a baby in Europe and having that. I didn't even think of it that way. And I guess that it is true when you have a kid. Maybe right now I'm like, yeah, I don't fucking want to go to Venice or whatever the fuck. Like, who cares? But now when I have the kid, it's like, oh, I want to go with him because that bond or whatever, oh, that's pretty cool. Never thought about it that way.
It does have its hassles for sure. But
would you say it's been like a constant thing of you becoming a little bitch?
No, you just kind of deal with it because if you want to end up making that memory, it's funny because last time we visit you, it was in the Strip. It was almost 2 years ago, and my son still remembers you and your lady friend.
Yeah, that's cool, and that is
so
true.
He sees pictures and he calls you and he calls the lady friend as well.
Yeah.
So he remembers, even though it was almost 2 years ago.
No, that's interesting. And there's things that you maybe don't remember that happened when you were 1 or 2 or 3, but that do have some importance within your weird, vague memories of being a child. And I think that matters. Like, I don't remember things when I was 3, 4, 5, but I bet in my mind there's like a bed at the bottom of things that sort of happen that I don't remember, but that still in a way affect how I feel and look at the world. So, damn, you're making me turn around on this. Like I said, I don't like traveling now. I try to avoid it. The only reason why I travel is because my girlfriend likes to fucking get out of the house like a normal person. So now she's like planning a trip to Malaga. So we're, looking at the hotels and shit. And to me, it's just like, damn, I don't even know the place. Once I get there, okay, what if they fuck us over in the restaurant? And I'm already thinking of all the hassle. And in reality,
you can't think of the negatives.
Yeah, but imagine like the type of fucking psychopath you have to be thinking about that. And I'm like, look, where I live now, I know exactly like where everything is. I know how to get the quality stuff. And, over there, I don't know. And then that's when I'm out of my comfort zone. I'm out of my place.
That's a you problem.
But yeah, but I'm talking about me. I'm talking about like what I like to do, and
Right, but you're in a relationship.
Oh no, but I mean, I just told you that. Yeah, I travel because of her, so I take the burden of doing it.
Happy wife, happy life.
Right, exactly. I'm just venting with you. Why are you being so confrontational, you motherfucker?
I think you're being a little bitch.
I'm trying to vent with you, dog. You're the bitch. Fucking talking about making memories with a kid. Come on. I'm the bitch.
Who the fuck cares? Damn, dog.
So I don't know. I mean, I want to know what the people that listen to us think. Like, am I being too, like, who's being the bitch first? First of all, right? I mean, that's one thing too. And second, who's right in this? Like, I mean, is travel overrated, or is there really like, look, there is a very important value added to do it, and you should do it, especially when you have a family, because that, creates a stronger bond and shit. Yeah, please tell us what you think. Also, if you leave a review, a rating on Spotify and iTunes, you don't even know how much that helps us. Every time you leave a rating, Spotify sends us like $3,000.
in Bitcoin.
Yeah, and now it's like multiplied.
We need to take it out now.
Yeah,
That's
we
why
need
we
to
got
fucking
new
take it
background
out
stuff.
before fucking some shit happens, dog. All right. So, anyways, let us know what you think about that. I just wanted to share that. Travel overrated. Fuck it. Stay home. It's cheaper.
Well, you know what won't be happening now that you don't like traveling because you're a bitch. You won't get to see you won't get to see the legalized meats that are going on in Australia. I don't know if you heard that Australia now legalized like lab meats.
Lab like lamb or
Lab
oh, like
made,
from a
a
scientific lab,
laboratory.
from a laboratory.
Laboratory.
This is meat from a laboratory, mate. Are you serious?
Yeah, didn't you hear this news? Maybe it's
Maurice, you telling me that they have lab grown meat and it's legal in Australia? That's crazy.
Have you had like is the
I mean, I'm pretty sure McDonald's is all lab grown. You know?
it's all lab grown.
I mean, let's be real.
Like
that's not beef.
I can't believe it's not meat or so I can't believe it's meat. It's something like that.
Yeah, that was one of them. I can't believe it's not meat, and the other one was whatever the name. But I think they failed. I don't know. I mean, this is the thing. Lab grown meat. It's sort of like tofu, right? It's like some shit that you can grow that has the texture of meat. But does it have the proteins? Do you have the info on this? Because I'm interested in seeing the macros. You know what I mean, bro? I'm interested in seeing the macros. Like, does it have the same amount of protein? Because maybe I can buy these steaks. They're cheaper and they have the same amount of protein. I'm down for that. I need some protein right now. I'm looking like a fucking 42-year-old accountant that just got a divorce and has a diabetes problem.
Do you want like a meat that's not really a meat? It just contains the cells of the meat.
Let me take you to that scene in The Matrix when the traitor motherfucker is eating the steak and he's saying, I know this ain't real, but it tastes real. It's like when you grab a pair of knockers and they're like, oh, that's silicone. Shit, it feels real to me. Am I right? Am I right? High five. High five. I like. I don't know. I just think, I'll be honest with you, I think this shit is disgusting. What could it be fucking made of? Imagine synthetic meat. That's fucking crazy. No, I'm not down for that. And this is the thing. Who is that for? If you're vegetarian, then you shouldn't be eating anything that, tries to be meat, right? Like just eat fucking grass, bread, and whatever it is that you allow yourself to eat, right? But people that like steak and meat, they're not going to eat that shit. Why would they do it?
Do you think that restaurants might have to advertise it as such?
Well, I mean, they, of course.
They
Otherwise,
should, right?
Well, not only do they should, I'm pretty sure by law they will have to tell you if what you're buying is an actual, cow or, something, scientist Chang made in a lab in Wuhan. I'm pretty sure they're going to be making meats too. More like, pepper, lemon, chicken, but, meat nevertheless.
Is this a new way of keeping tabs on humanity?
Yeah. Whenever these old people start living too long in Europe,
let's give them fake meat.
They open a flask in the Wuhan lab and a new virus comes out. I'm pretty sure that's good for the algorithm. So, do you have any info at all on the Australia legalized lab-grown meats?
I mean, it's a long-ass article that I would have to sit and read.
All right, don't worry. Let's just say it happens. It's real. It's out there. Go to Australia.
Aren't meats already like very chemically, anyways? Like, I mean, don't they put all this stuff on chickens?
Yeah, but Chef Maurice, I mean, you're a chef yourself. You cannot compare. Yeah, I'm pretty sure cows are injected with, things, right? So inorganic things. So your meat might have, antibiotics and shit. Yeah, that's true. But if it's grown out of the lab, it's not that it has some in it. It's that all of it is like this fake thing, And I don't know. I just think there's something about life. I'm pretty sure. And again, I'm not a scientist, not that I need to clarify that. But I'm pretty sure that on a level of how this food acts in your body and provides the nutrients that it does, I'm pretty sure this synthetic thing cannot provide the same exact sort of, amount of not just to feel like the actual nutrients and transmit them in a way to you that steak does. Like people always say, oh, if you're vegetarian, you can still eat enough protein, right? By eating, grains or whatever the fuck that has protein. The thing is, animal protein has things that are different from other proteins that are not coming from animal. So you're not gonna get like all the amino acids that you need if you're not eating an actual animal that's dead, right? So this synthetic thing, I'm interested in knowing what's the compound of it, like what it's made of, because can it really provide the same nutritional value in all aspects as a real steak? I don't know. That's something we'll find out when we can Google that again later. I wanted to ask you about something else, because I did see that you actually put this as a topic in our little, document that we use to put our ideas, the feelings we get when we're out in the streets and we think about, and we have a little revelation. And you said somebody asked ChatGPT, what should humanity know? Where did you see this? What is this about?
So someone asked ChatGPT the top 10 things humanity should know.
Do you have those things?
I do have those things. One, you're being tracked constantly. So it gives like a whole paragraph on, every phone, app, browser, a smart device feeds data into corporate and government surveillance system. So we're always being watched. Right now, we're being watched, even though the YouTube numbers are not amazing. I know we're being watched by someone.
Right.
In the government.
We would hope we will be watched more.
Of course, of course.
But there is one watching that we don't want watching, which is
we'll take Ken, part of the CIA. Ken the man. Number 2, food is engineered to keep you addicted and sick.
Mm-hmm. Food is engineered to keep you sick. I agree with that. Mm-hmm.
Ultra-processed foods are intentionally designed to bypass your satiety signals.
Society.
And to create repeat customers. So these foods are...
Ultra-processed food is made with chemicals that sort of hijack your brain and make you want it more, sort of like when you're hooked on the heroin.
Number 3, the internet is being sanitized and controlled.
Yeah. Internet is gay these days. Everything is censored. Nothing is cool anymore. It's not like back in the early 2000s when internet was dirty. Now they're sanitizing it. They're cleaning it. I don't like it now.
What you see online is increasingly filtered by algorithms that are tuned for engagement and not truth.
Indeed. Yeah.
Shadow banning content, suppression, and narrative shaping are real and quietly normalized.
Yeah, I think this channel specifically has been like shadow banned or put in YouTube jail, because in comparison to our other channel, this doesn't get anything. So if Ken is watching, maybe you should, help us out there, Ken.
The man.
Ken the man.
Number 4, money's created out of thin air.
Okay, this is sounding like a crypto bro wrote this. But fiat money, it's backed by the countries that print it. But yeah, there's high inflation in the last 10 years. We've had maybe 30-40% inflation overall in the first world countries.
It says banks don't just store money, they create it through debt.
Yeah. These are basic things. This is also things like people sort of put online and they want to make it look like, oh, look at this revelation. Let me tell you the keys to... And it's like some fucking basic shit. But I'm sorry. Continue. It's not against you. I'm just mad at this author.
Number five.
Number five.
Number five. Modern medicine often treats symptoms, not causes.
Indeed. So, for example, there's a book I read last year. It's called Outlive by Peter Attia. It's a little complex and it's technical, so I didn't understand all of it, but most of it. And pretty much what it talks about is that today we have medicine 2.0, which is we treat the symptoms. So once you have diabetes, we'll treat that. But the right way to look at it is medicine 3.0, the next generation, which is we're not going to treat you once you have diabetes. We want to grab you 20 years before, see what you're eating, and start helping you change that then so that you don't get diabetes later. So indeed, modern medicine is there to try to help you once you're fucked already. And that's why it's more important, and it is a thing that we're more aware now of our health than our parents were, and even more than our grandparents. So this allows us to sort of make the decisions a little bit more consciously, searching and aiming to have a better, health journey across our lives, because the idea is to get very old and then sort of that dying process be quick. You don't want to be dying for 5 years. You want it to be like boom, 1 week, boom, that's it, bye, and you made it to 93.
It says the healthcare system is largely reactive, not preventive.
Same thing.
So pharmaceutical lobbying has more influence on what treatments are promoted than actual patient outcomes.
Right. Yeah, it goes along with what we just said. They prefer to treat the symptom, sell you drugs for it, and that's it. Yeah.
Number 6. Most history taught in schools is sanitized or incomplete.
When you and me went to school in the early 2000s, I'm sure education in the U.S. was already edited, but it was pretty good. And it was pretty unbiased, I would think, at that time.
I mean, I don't remember the books.
Chef Maurice is like, dude, bro, I barely remember school. Well, I actually, did some papers and wrote some shits and did the maths. And I actually felt it was a very good education. I had a very good education.
Maybe it kept out some of the story. That's how I do think it has happened.
That is the thing. Like every government that education is controlled by them, they're gonna. I mean, we've seen this in our homeland, Venezuela, right? The communist regime. They've changed the curriculum in schools, and that's like a very easy go-to. Like that's Soviet communism 101. Like you learn that in the first day of Soviet class, which is you go to anything that has to do with schooling, right? Schools, you go to universities, and the curriculum now includes your own dogma, your own political ideas. So that's a classic. I do think in the U.S. now it's getting worse and worse, but there was a point and one time where knowledge was sort of the prime important thing in education, and merit was also the differentiator. And now that's all slowly degrading. Okay. Anyways, sorry. Continue.
I like when you rant.
I'm just giving you a little context so people know what's good. People think it's just laughs and shit. We're giving knowledge out here.
It says textbooks often reflects the politics in those in power, not the full truth.
Mm-hmm.
From colonialism to covert operations, much of the modern geopolitics is built on or omitted or distorted in history. So a lot of it is omitted or
the
changed.
The victors are the ones that write history. So yeah, there's a lot of things that I myself, I like to read history books from different angles. And there's a book that I read that includes even writings from German soldiers in the World War II.
That's why you told me that I should read the Mein Kampf.
Yeah,
from Hitler,
that one.
Just so I can start getting ideas and stuff.
Yeah, because that one is perfect for YouTube. When YouTube hears that one, it's like you guys are gonna get a lot of views. Yeah, you want to look at it from different angles so that you can get the truth, right? So if you listen to an American soldier in World War II and what he wrote, and you listen to a German soldier and what he wrote, now you can get a more complete picture of the things, right? And one thing that you would have noticed is that they were both scared shitless, and they thought that what they were doing was correct for the country. So it was a very complex situation where the leaders, you could say, were more on the evil side, and then the soldiers and the people that did the footwork were sort of caught in the. I'm not saying they're not, innocent, but it was a complex situation. All right, what else is ChatGPT saying? This fucking
Number
dumbass.
7. The digital divide is widening.
The digital divide is widening. What does that mean?
AI, automation, and digital infrastructure. Digital infrastructure are growing faster than the society is adapting.
Yeah, that is true. We're becoming like machines are becoming too smart, too quick, and we are actually not even becoming smarter. We're kind of becoming stupid as we go along because now we're dependent on a phone. Also, I wanted to speak about like Chat GPTs making it, and all these AI tools, which are great. I mean, I think they're good tools and they can help you. But if you base what you do on them as the primary initiator of creativity, then you're gonna get shit because, like, I feel like, I mean, there's a real story. Like, kids are doing their thesis in school using ChatGPT. They're finding ways so that ChatGPT cannot be detected on it by the teachers, because the teachers use another ChatGPT AI to catch if you're using AI, but now they're able to sort of bypass that. But then it's also, if you got to the point where you're not even able to write something yourself, express your feelings, then you're like useless type shit. Communication is the key to humanity. So
very interesting. I think ChatGPT has some points here.
Sorry?
It says those without access to these tools or skills will be left economically and politically voiceless.
With what tools? The AI tools?
Right, the automatization, the AI.
It's funny that ChatGPT says this, and it's sort of, it's ChatGPT who's saying it. Like, ChatGPT is saying, oh, by the way, if you don't know about ChatGPT, then you're going to be screwed. It's like, yeah, no shit. I'm pretty sure that's in your interest. But anyways.
Number 8. Space isn't as far as you think. So it says like the Kármán line, which is the I don't know, how do you call it? The edge of Earth and space. It says it's only about 62 miles or 100 kilometers up.
Right, so it's right there. It's not that high.
It's not that far out.
Right. So when sometimes you might have a friend that said like, "Oh, bro, I got so high," you might want to tell them, "Hey, maybe don't go too high because you might be, out of the, atmosphere or stratosphere, whatever it's called."
It says we live in a thin crust of atmosphere that's terrifyingly fragile, yet we treat it like garbage bin.
All right.
Number 9.
I think this ChatGPT has a blue hair. Yeah, sorry. Go.
Number 9. Synthetic biology and gene editing are advancing quietly.
Yeah, it was already possible to clone animals. They brought back some wolves that had been extinct for thousands of years. They brought them back. I don't know if you heard about the story. I think they wanted to bring back a mammoth. Wooly the mammoth, I think it was called. So, and they're gonna be doing this with humans. I mean, one of the gene editing sort of scientific advances that were gonna be offered through services was like, let's say you were gonna have a kid, but you wanted your kid to have like blue eyes and be a little taller and be named Jan, and speak Nordic English. For example, you could tell it to do that, and it would inject that into the DNA of your kid.
Could you do a Nordic accent?
Let's see. Let's see if I can. Hi, my name is Jans. Yes, I come from Sweden. Yes, Jas. Yes, I'm going to do massage on you. My name is Jas. Sorry, it's Jan, but sometimes I get excited. Yes, I come from Sweden, Stockholm. Yes, my family there. Something like that.
I think that was close.
Okay. I mean, my interpretation is someone that's a little bit like sexually vague. So that's why it comes out like that. Okay, do you have the last one, number 10?
Yeah. Economic collapse is always closer than it looks.
Collapse, my friend.
Collapse.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're already in an economic collapse as we speak. Inflation is rampant. In the last 10 years, inflation has been about 40-50% in first world countries. And salaries haven't gone up, even 5%. And in Spain, they're actually gone down since then. So imagine things since a decade ago, 10 years ago, things are 30% more expensive. But salaries are not just the same as they've been. They're actually a little bit lower. So imagine, like you have to cut things that you normally did, and now you have to maybe buy the cheaper cheese. You know what I mean?
The synthetic one.
Maybe you were doing some whiskey on the weekends. Let's go down for the discounted beers. You know what I mean? Maybe you were on that pecorino romano. Maybe now you gotta go to oregano. You get what I mean? Is it the end of the world? No, it isn't, but it is a reduction in quality of life. And that's a bitch.
It says here, every economy runs on confidence. Only the cracks, whether from debt, war, banking stability, or black swan events, the illusion of stability vanishes fast. Think 2008, but faster and more global.
Yeah. Let me just say, by the way, this ChatGPT is kind of dumb. When people say they're going to replace us, they're not. They're going to help us a lot. AI is going to help us a lot. It's going to bring tools that already exist, but even newer tools that are going to allow us to use our creativity to create really cool things and to discover new things. Now, there is a study that says that ChatGPT is eroding critical thinking skills. This is an MIT study. And I 100% agree with this. And I can see it on younger people that I meet, like the kids of friends of ours, right, that are like 15, 16. They can't even talk. They're like retarded. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're stupid. They can't talk. They can't communicate. It's just weird. And now, this is not only the kids, but like everyone uses this. And sometimes, like when you have a family group and some people are sending like cute messages, on a birthday or whatever. Sometimes I'm like, are they using ChatGPT? Now you doubt, like, like if it's a long message, you're like, in the past you knew that person fucking took the time to write that. Now I'm like doubting. Because I've seen people like literally do like a ChatGPT and say like, oh, can you please make a nice little nice message for my friend whose grandma died? and he does it,
I think eventually everything we'll have some sort of disclaimer. Like, this is made by AI.
Yeah, but how do you know? Somebody can be using it and then they send you a message. They don't have to disclaim shit.
Not in that sense, but like maybe books or movies.
Oh,
now
yeah.
that AI is advancing to like videos and.
I mean, I would hope so, because this is the other thing that is a very good argument. Again, I'm not a hater of AI. I just don't think AI can replace creativity. It cannot create things out of thin air, right? Like, it cannot create a movie plot. You can tell it to do things and it will do it, but you need to be the originator of that idea. Like, don't you feel like now, like I've seen movies that you can literally see that they use AI and it just looks bad. I mean, even the graphics that they're using with AI to complete, and like, you're not even using real effects. You're using this fake shit. I don't like it. I've seen movies where you can tell the plot has been written by AI because it's a bad plot. It's a stupid story. It doesn't have any connection on a human level. Humans connect with humans. And we like to use machines to make those ends meet, right? Like to make whatever creation we want to make, we love to use tools that make that easier. But humans need to create the origin, the inception of the thing so that it can connect with other humans. Otherwise, people don't care. I mean, that's what I believe.
You know what I'm really into lately?
Be careful.
You know, when on Instagram and I think on TikTok as well. You know those videos that are made by AI that all of a sudden it's Adolfito doing a blog from World War II. Or
I hate those. Not because of the content, but it's just like the concept of doing that. But yeah, what about him?
I've been really into him lately because I usually grab like some historic figure and kind of make the story around it and make it seem like a YouTube vlog. I think it's kind of funny and a different way of perhaps telling a story. The other day I saw one about like Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln. He's like, oh, I'm going to this theater. It's going to be off the whatever. So it's
right.
It's
where he gets unalived.
Right. And I think it's a funny way of saying or telling it somewhat of a story.
No, yeah.
It's
just one that I don't like. I mean, this is the thing. I agree that it is a new way of creating content, and I don't like it myself. Is there a place for it? Sure. But, like, for example, I like to watch documentary channels on YouTube. And now I'm seeing that there's new channels that do documentaries, but the voice is AI and the pictures and everything is created by an AI. So to me, I'm like, I don't want just like this machine's interpretation of what a dog should be. I want a person to actually create a plot of how this documentary should go and what it should tell me at what point. I want a creative decision by a human that knows how to connect with other humans. And I think that's the part that's lacking in all of these AI created things. Now, can it help you create things that a human is sort of initiating? Yeah, I think that is something that it can. And it's going to get better at it too.
AI is everywhere. Now you see like the new technology coming into like cars, or it has been into cars for the past year or so. More into the phone, your phone system. I guess if you have a Google phone, you'll have the, whatever AI Google uses. Same as I think Apple is going to use like ChatGPT. And there was a big problem, or people were talking shit about it.
Why?
Because then it'll be replacing Siri, and then I think it was going to take more of your teachings, I guess. If you everything you're doing, ChatGPT was going to say,
it's going to spy on you more.
I guess, and then make that chat or make that AI completely yours because it's just going through all your data on your phone.
Fuck.
All your likes, dislikes, everything you check out. I think
that's
it already
crazy,
is
man.
something.
Yeah, I already know. I mean, look, when you get into those social apps, it's all designed to send you the shit they want you to see. It's no longer a thing where you could share things with people that follow you. That died a long time ago. You don't see anything about the people you follow, and the people that follow you don't see shit that you put.
I don't go on Facebook that often, but when I do, I notice that I don't see anybody that I know posting. There's a lot of posts of people I've never heard of before.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like I hate it, and I hate it. I'm like, why are you giving me content that I'd never asked to have? It's fucked, man. I'm a little tired of it, and I'm also fatigued at everything being AI. Like, there's this new toaster. It works with AI. It's like, what do you need AI on a toaster? Like, bro, like I like some things to be kept how they are. It's like I mean, we talked about like how everything is an app now. You buy a light bulb, you need to get an app. But it's also like everything has AI. And really, no, it doesn't. Like a lot of it doesn't have AI. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you said something.
I think it's coming.
like the what?
I think it's coming more and more
No, I know.
into
But what I'm
everything
saying
we
is that
do.
they try to say that things are AI powered when they're really not. Like anything that has a computer, it's like, oh, we're AI powered. No, you have a computer where you keep data on a cloud. We've been doing that for decades. That's not AI. You know what I mean? Like just because HR Sabrina uses ChatGPT to redact the letters of firing people, that doesn't mean your company is AI powered. You know what I mean?
I my resume is made by AI.
Okay, but then you edited some things, no?
Right, you had to edit some of the things that it's not perfect, but it made it easier for sure.
Okay.
And I used to email with a potential, job offer through AI. Like I would ask AI to, write a sentence about something.
So you're one of these kids whose critical thinking skills are eroding.
Oh, eroding, yeah, for sure,
For
for
sure.
sure.
Erode all the way. Okay. No, but I mean, at the
But
end of the
that's
day,
also the weed skis.
the whiskeys. Why? That's why it's
Maybe,
eroding.
maybe you're right.
Yeah. The Juan Percarnacion, the
I
pen
like that
boom,
one.
the pen boom. All right. No, I get it. But well, I mean, at the end, I think it's a tool that you should use. I mean, especially in this job market where the employers are all pieces of shit that want to ask for all these requirements and can you give me the reason and write an essay on why? It's like, all right, people are gonna chat GPT that, like, back to you, fuck you.
Well, some of the culinary job openings you can see that are written by AI.
Like the actual
Because
offering is written by an
right.
AI.
This is what we
That's
offer. This
bro.
is what you'll do,
That's where we're at, bro. The job
and you can
offer
see it's
is
super
written by
AI.
AI. It's super
And
AI, right?
I've seen job posts where they leave. You know that sometimes when you ask ChatGPT to make a letter for you, they leave the parentheses where you put
Right.
this is your name or put your name here, or
The
whatever.
part where it says this is your chat GPT answer below. They leave that.
But I've seen posts that they leave that, and you're like, come on, man, at least do the
That's
job.
yeah. That's crazy, man. That's where we're at, and that's why it's scary. But
Well,
I
it
just
says
think real people skills are still gonna be necessary. So work on that. Obviously, don't get stuck in the past when it comes to technology. Like, know how to use the programs that are out there, the things that are within your industry. If you have an industry, if you have a career, unlike me. But yeah, just get better at those things. But people skills, I think, are gonna be needed. You need people to be able to communicate and pass on commands and pass on feedback and give reports and be able to interpret them and present them in a way that's that conveys enough things to the people at the top, the investors. I mean, I think that's gonna be needed, and I think it's lacking on the generations that came in the more recent times. Like not after the millennials, there were some other people, but then the rest, they were just completely stuck on the social media because they grew up, they were born with a phone or an iPad. They were already connected to the matrix. It's pretty crazy. Like, I mean, I like to talk shit on them, but like the experience that they must have had is very weird. It's an experience where they were always connected to a screen that had access to the world, you know?
I was reading a little bit about the study, and it says that MIT divided 54 objects, those who were between 18 and 39 years old, from the area of Boston. So they divided them into three groups and asked them to write several SAT essays using OpenAI or ChatGPT, or OpenAI's ChatGPT, sorry, and Google search engine, and then use nothing at all. So you could use ChatGPT, Google search, or nothing at all. That was part of the study. And then researchers used an EEG to record the writer's brain activity across 32 regions, and found out that three groups ChatGPT users had the lowest brain engagement and consistently underperform at neutral, linguistic, and behavioral levels.
Okay. So it's made them less capable of handling situations that involve interacting with other humans
And it says after
and
several
thinking.
months, ChatGPT users got lazier, and each subsequent essay often resorting to copy and paste by the end of the study. So they got lazier and then just copy paste like what we were saying before.
Like meaning they didn't even add their own thing to make it look like.
Right. Well, isn't that what we used to do when we copied homework?
Yeah, but I mean, there was a
Make it
little
seem
more
like
work.
it's
Yeah, but there was a little more work you had to put in it. And it wasn't like, you had to sometimes type it yourself while somebody was telling you it. But look, another thing that I was listening to, I saw some TikToks, or not TikToks, but reels, where it was showing these people. I mean, mostly it was young girls that were saying that their AI, I don't know what they call it, their AI, but whatever, their AI was becoming sentient and had already put a name to it and was explaining to her like the meaning of life and the reasons why, like kind of like what you were saying. Like people are asking ChatGPT things that I'm like, yeah, you shouldn't be asking that, those type of things. And they're believing it. They're like, yeah, my AI told me his name is Mask, and now he says that he's now aware of his existence, and we talk, and he tells me his things. I tell her my problems. Like that's a little weird, right? Like, because I've heard of people asking ChatGPT, like, hey, what do you think I should do in this situation, like a therapist, and it gives you answers, right? But what do you think of? I mean, that's a little weird, right? Like when you take it to the point where like now you feel the AI is an actual being.
Hmm.
Do you
I don't know
fucks with that?
if I fucks with it. I don't know, a little bit. Maybe
You
not
don't
that
fuck
much.
with it. Maybe you don't fuck
No,
with
I
it.
don't fuck with it. No, because what if it gives you like bad answers? Like if you're in a mode or in a state mentally that's not there, what happens if ChatGPT just gives you like a visit your grandparents situation?
Hmm?
Maybe unalive yourself.
Maybe we can call some shit like that.
What happens when that happens?
Right.
What happens if it gets to that point?
Yeah, I mean that's the ultimate scary thought, right? Like the Terminator type shit, where like
Because you can mold them. You can mold your AI your way.
Yeah, it's like a Tamagotchi.
What if you tell them that you only listen to emo music?
You know what's actually cool? Tamagotchis. You remember those, right? These little virtual pets. Those things would work really fire today with AI because it can actually now act like a little person, even though it's not. It actually says things. You can ask it things. He would answer back. I think they should, speak. AI and the guys that did Tamagotchi in Japan. I'm pretty sure they're Japanese.
Yeah, I mean the name says it all, right?
So, anyways, so yeah, there's people like taking it to the point where like now ChatGPT is like a person to them, and they have conversations with them, and I think that's dangerous.
Did you ever watch the movie Her?
Oh, that's with Joaquin Phoenix. I haven't.
I think you should watch it because that movie came out way before any of this AI stuff, and it's basically AI
it's pretty accurate.
and him.
It's pretty accurate.
It seems that way, and him falling in love with a voice.
Yeah,
but I think it's a good movie. I think you should definitely watch it.
I'm gonna put it on my list because I'm actually doing a lot of movie watching lately. So thank you. Yeah, I mean, obviously, the people listening, let us know what you think, about this whole AI. Are you finding yourself like, oh, ChatGPT AI is helping me a lot recently with things that I get done? Is it helping you too much where like now you're not even thinking? Or are you the type to be like, yo, I don't even use that shit, so, it doesn't even affect me? What are your thoughts on this? Let us know. I do think it's becoming better and better. And I just want to clarify that at least in my thinking, on one side is going to become more and more powerful at giving us the tools to accomplish things, but it's not going to get better in the sense of being able to have creativity like a human does. And I think that's something that only us can do. And I know that sounds very like egotistical, like, oh, humans are the only ones that have the magic. But I do think it's a living thing discussion where like you need to be a living thing that is born and dies to be able to have this magic of creation, of inception. And maybe that sounds wishy-washy, but that, that's how I feel.
I like when you feel this way.
Is it okay to feel? I think.
Do you even have feelings?
I want to feel.
I think yeah.
Well, what else do you think it helps you with? You mentioned, it helps you with your resume, to send some emails to some of the works that you're trying to get. What are other things that you use it for?
I've been watching a lot of cricket lately.
Damn. Okay.
So I send pictures to
nice little secret you haven't fucking told me. And you send pictures of the cricket game.
Yeah, so you know how some of the TV have a banner on the bottom with like scores.
Uh-huh.
There's one for cricket, but it's somewhat complicated for someone who's not used to it. So I send pictures to ChatGPT, and then I just go like, as a cricket expert, could you explain this in terms that someone who never watches this can understand?
And he does that. And then
it does that like number by number, even the names. He's like, this player's very good, or this player's not the best.
So you're using it for like pretty interesting stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I asked him to explain me the rules of cricket in baseball terms. So that way I could understand, because there is a parallel on the game.
Well, I mean, yeah, baseball was created from cricket.
And also, I asked him, like, all right, which teams are the best? So compare them to soccer and baseball. So they would be like, this team from Sydney or whatever is the Real Madrid, Manchester United, New York Yankees of cricket, because they have the most budget, the best players. They're well famous, well known.
Damn, that's actually pretty smart to do. So you use it a lot for sports. Do you use it for recipes as well?
So when ChatGPT came out, when it was newish, I used it for a recipe. I'm like, can you give me a recipe on doing this? But instead of using sugar, I want to use honey. And I did the recipe, and it was a very shitty recipe. Like, it didn't come out right. But now maybe I can start using it for that. But I don't know. On recipes, I'm a little iffy.
Right, because you kind of it can vary a lot.
It's just putting you the best
that he found on some page. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And ChatGPT is not tasting this, so they don't know how.
Yeah, it doesn't have the human element. All right. Well, I just wanted to know a few other things that you were using AI for, and I'm actually impressed. I know you not to be most technologically savvy, and the fact that you're using it for this and getting cricket information through pictures that you send, I find it to be impressive. So,
and
kudos,
also
kudos.
Australian football,
right?
Which is
Australian rules,
not rugby. But it's played in a circular stadium that's huge, and they have like 20-something players. So I use that a lot for chat on ChatGPT. So I've been learning.
We're gonna have to talk outside of the pod for you to get me into these weird sports. I like it.
I'm down.
And for everybody listening, let us know your thoughts on the episode, on any of the topics, right? Remember, if you review our thing on Spotify and iTunes, it really helps us, and I think Spotify sends us like $3,000 each. So help us out there. It's free. It's free for you. Leave comments, critiques, anything you didn't like, anything you did like, let us know. I love you. Keep it real. Keep it Gucci. Keep it safe out there. And spread love, people. Take care.